Still to come on ESPN.
Well, here in Rupp Arena, it is Florida 11, Kentucky 2. That was a great result for Kentucky. Inside goes Diabate. He'll go to the free throw line, which will give us an opportunity to set up the scenario for Kentucky, who, as you all join us, find themselves down by 9, and certainly with a chance to cut into it with the 2 free throws. With the Vanderbilt win, if Kentucky can win the game today over Florida, they will move all the way up, guys, to a number 4 seed and get a double bye. If they lose this, they go to an 8 or 9 and could play on Wednesday. You couldn't get bigger stakes for Kentucky. The Hall of Famer Dick Vitale is here, and so is Jimmy Dykes.
Hey, you said if they can win.
Yeah.
Well, if I had here, I'd be a TV star. If, baby. All you guys going to do is beat the hottest team in the country, maybe along with Duke. They play an unbelievable Florida, the Gators, and they have not disappointed the early start here. They're motivated. Before the game, Coach told me, I was sitting with him, and I'm sitting talking to him, and he says, all of a sudden, word comes, Marquette won. Oh, Dick, I got to leave you. I got to go to motivate my team and tell them if we win, we get a number 1 seed. Well, baby, they came out to get that number 1 seed.
That Marquette game was against Connecticut, who was just slightly ahead of Florida on the 1 line from Lunardi. Since their loss, Florida's already been moved up to the 1 line. They can really solidify it with a victory today.
Ravi, we did the game earlier, Kentucky at Florida, and in the 10-game winning streak, Kentucky, the only team to play Florida to single digits.
Yeah.
They have to find some offense right now. That Florida defense around the rim has really bothered Kentucky early. And Florida got off to a 22-8 start down there, 11-3 here. There's the 1 seeds right now, and Florida and UConn have flipped just in the last half hour, with UConn losing to Marquette today.
Couple of empty trips for the Gators has allowed Oweh to go in. He's got a chance for a 3-point play on his senior night.
That's where Kentucky can get work done. It's not attacking Condon and Handlockton. It's at the 2 or the 3 position where the size doesn't eat you up. Look at Otega Oweh. He gets right into the chest of Thomas Houck. And Otega Oweh in the middle third going downhill with a better offensive play calls for Mark Pope.
You know, Oweh was preseason picked to be the player of the year. Bottom line is, he's had really a good year. He has come on really strong. Not a player of the year, obviously. I got that going with the Acoff, the kid from tennis. From Arkansas,
yeah.
But the bottom line is he's really had a strong year. Oweh is right now 3rd in Kentucky history for a 2-year player in scoring.
Yeah.
He's behind Spivey and then Antonio Reeves. He has
1,120 points in his career. 1,120 plus what he gets today.
I like the Kentucky full court pressure. You don't want to guard Florida in the half court for the full 30 seconds. They're too good, too big, and too strong.
Look at that front line now with Handlockton, who comes in to take Chinyulu out. So he's 7-2 to go with Condon and Houck. And a blow-by, miss. Handlockton, an offensive rebound, 2 of them, and it can't go.
I love Mo Diabate in this game. He's Kentucky's most physical guy. They need 23 in white to play big minutes today.
Also Aberdeen's senior night. He and Oweh, the 2 players who were being celebrated. Brandon Garrison. Diabate will take it. And make it.
That's the guy.
Diabate's got to come up big for them. He's got a rebound for them. He did that at Alabama. He was at Alabama.
You cannot score and celebrate against Florida.
They like to punch you in the face 5 seconds after they got punched.
They were celebrating?
They are the best at ripping the ball out of the net and putting it through the net, talking about Florida.
Well, they're doing a great job on Chandler, keeping him away from shooting the 3. He made 5 threes against them the first time they played.
Oweh's pull-up is well short. Condon gets the rebound. He was 5 of 7 from 3 in that game.
It was an absolute party in Rupp Arena. 45 minutes before tip, and it has not let up.
He had 6 threes against Vanderbilt.
Yeah.
Talk about Jekyll and Hyde. They lose by 25 to Vanderbilt, and they come back and beat him here by 14.
Klavshar got off his feet. That's going to be a foul underneath on Diabate. Well, you mentioned Thomas Houck, man. He has played himself into a lottery pick in the NBA draft.
Well, Kentucky's going to have one of those games where different guys step up and make shots that you don't expect. And Diabate in the conference play. That was his first made three-pointer, but I like his physicality, his toughness, the belief that he plays with. Remember, this is the guy that had 16 rebounds at Houston when he played for Alabama. They need that physicality today.
He also played really well against Texas A&M in a loss that they had.
He did.
He had a game, I think he had 18 that game.
Yeah.
Played really well, rebounded. He's capable of being a factor. He has to be a factor here today.
8-man rotation for Florida. You see the 8th guy, Isaiah Brown, into the game, and he has been phenomenal defensively as well as offensively. They go down low to Chinyelu with a freshman Moreno on him. Big battle there, and Chinyelu.
I love that kid. I love him and Houck. What a combination they are. This guy is a warrior. He is absolutely plays with such passion and feeling.
Diabate gets called with the offensive foul into the chest of Condon.
What a play by Condon. No one in this league is playing better basketball on both ends than Alex Condon the last 5 or 6 games. Not only what he does offensively, but he can switch out like Chinyelu and take on any drive. Does a great job of feet discipline, getting outside the restricted arc. Tough call, but the right call in Rupp.
Who has a better combination on the wing? You talk about Chinyelu and you talk about Houck. Those two guys are so talented.
Nobody. They're the best in college ball with this front line we're watching today in orange.
Plafshar has changed the complexion of the Florida offense with his three-point shooting. And all of a sudden, Lee's become one of the best three-point shooters in the country. Condon is not, and he may have got away.
Yeah.
No, he didn't get away with a push-off. He gets called for the foul.
There's my guy, Diabate, going chest for chest, that championship chest defense that Mark Pope talks about. Well done by Diabate. This is strength versus length, and a terrific explosive move by Ruben Chinyelu, the best defensive player in all of college basketball.
And Otega Owe, along with the Hall of Famer Dick Vitale, always special to be in, especially a building like this with Dickie V and, of course, Jimmy Dykes. I'm Carl Ravitch. 2 things happen. UConn loses to Marquette. Great for Florida. Vanderbilt beats Tennessee. That's great for Kentucky.
Well,
they smell blood in the water, these guys.
Well, I don't smell blood in the water, but I know one thing. I look what they have done all year, Florida. It's been amazing. 10 games in a row they've won, 23.2 margin of victory, have dominated opposition, have embarrassed teams. We had them when they humiliated Alabama, put 72 points in the paint, Jimmy.
But think about this, Kentucky's the one team that has played Florida to single digits over that last 10-game winning streak. I know this, if I'm Mark Pope, I get word on that bench with Vanderbilt winning today. Kentucky wins this game, we are a 4 seed starting Friday night in Nashville. That's a big, big opportunity right now for the home team.
Absolutely. I don't think there's any doubt as a coach. You utilize anything you can to
Absolutely.
motivate, inspire your players, man.
Yeah, Owe, friendly roll here at home.
Again, I think you attack Florida at the 1, the 2, and the 3. The 4 and the 5, the size eats you up. And I think Mark Pope sees the same thing early.
Tell you the one thing, always plays hard, wants the ball at crunch time. Florida getting a little careless here, getting away from their strengths. Rather than go pounding it inside, trying to shoot the perimeter 3, really getting a little bit away from what they normally do.
And Houck knew it. He patted his own chest, looked at his head coach, said, that's on me. That was not a good shot.
Revy Owe has averaged 21 points over the last 6. And he's the guy that can have a 20, 25-point game today.
Chance for a 3 for him.
Yep.
Nailed it.
You just feel it. Talking to him today, he understands this is my last time to wear this jersey in Rupp Arena. He will play with a massive effort.
He's been a great, great player for them in 2 years he's been here from Oklahoma. He's been solid, multi-dimensional. He can play multi-defensive positions.
Owe came over to double team. They get it to Houck in traffic. No good. Kentucky has yet to lead at any point in any game against Florida this season.
Owe has given them a lift. Owe has given them some confidence. I see a little bit of a swag there right now.
Well, the last 2 hoops from Otega Owe. This is the matchup that I like. He's playing the 3 spot right now. Just go right at Florida at that spot. He's so good at that logo pull-up jump shot. And the form is not exactly how you teach it, but the release and rotation is true. Otega Owe shooting 35% in SEC play from 3.
He's got 8 of their 14. And again, first game never led. Haven't led in this game. Owe bounces it into Moreno, the freshman. Off balance, no good, and nobody there to rebound, but they're trying to get back on defense.
Florida forces a ton of 7 to 8 foot shots. Very difficult to win games, taking a high number of them.
Houck on Jasper Johnson. Advantage Houck, and up in the air he got Moreno. And it looks like that who is going to draw the foul. And it is. Final Saturday of men's college hoop regular season will continue with the big one, of course, tonight on ESPN and the app. Number 1 Duke, number 17 Carolina at Cameron Indoor at 6:30 Eastern time. And then it's Alabama hosting Auburn. Alabama already knows that they have a couple of days off. They'll get the bye into Friday. And then it's Texas Tech and BYU.
Tell you one thing, really want to send my best wishes to Caleb Wilson to really get back healthy. He's going to be one heck of an NBA player. Tough break for Caleb, tough break for North Carolina. I mean, he is so special.
No player in the freshman class, as good as it is, no freshman has a better motor than Caleb Wilson. It's really a shame that the nation doesn't get to watch him in that NCAA tournament. I'll say this, Carolina has had success going into Duke. Duke being ranked number 1, they've gone into 3 times and won, correct?
Yes. They're 5-1. Right now, they're 5-1 without Caleb Wilson. They've really played well without him.
Hey, Arkansas got a big win today without Darius Acuff playing. We know that Toppin is no longer available for Iowa State, and it's a fractured thumb that has got Wilson out for the remainder of the season.
You know, I want to make some statement here. I said 2 of the hottest teams in the country, Duke, and I said also Florida.
Yeah.
Forget about it. What about Miami of Ohio? 31-0. 31-0.
Yeah, they set the bar.
I don't care who.
No way. Straight on 3. He's on
this
fire.
This guy's feeling it. He's carrying his team. He is carrying his team.
Well, he knew the moment was upon him, and he is delivering so far. Hand locked in. Good kick to Brown. Baseline, drive, up, in, and a chance for 3.
Otega Oweh had a smile and a spirit and a swag about him today. Around noon, I was talking with him, and he has absolutely delivered. Yelovich with that back cut, and Otega Oweh does a good job of getting to that slot 45, has now knocked down a couple of threes. And think of the consistency of Oweh as you see Brown attack that baseline. Not easy to do. Kentucky, one of the better Mark Pope's defensive squads as a head coach.
When you see a star player rise like he has right here, Oweh, it really rubs off on everybody.
Yeah, blocked twice, but watch out for Brandon Garrison, who did not score a point in that first game in 18 minutes.
But it all started with Oweh being a downhill driver. What a bounce back by Kentucky. They got knocked early, and they have responded.
Good hands, Jasper Johnson, ball loose. Another deflection. Fland fires. Wow, what a big offensive rebound by the former volleyball star, Thomas Houck.
They have been dominant on both glasses, but especially the last 5 games on the offensive glass.
Houck is right now labeled to be by our people a lottery selection.
Yep.
He's in the top 12 in the country in the eyes of all the geniuses that rate all these players.
Good hands from Fland from behind, and Brown pushes. Houck wants the alley-oop, and he got it.
He is averaging 18 a game in road games. That's how you judge how good a dude is, and Thomas Houck played his way into a lottery pick this year.
Boy, but fellas, you can see how Kentucky will punch and Florida counter punches so quickly.
Well, I see you doing that counter punch. Don't punch me. Don't punch me. Yeah, you got that fist, Jimmy. I got a good left hook. You better watch out, Carl.
Another turnover. Will it turn into another alley-oop? No, it's going to be a foul. And you can feel how quickly the momentum is coming. Will they take a look to see if this was more than just a foul?
You knew Kentucky was going to come with a massive effort today, led by Otega Oweh, playing for the last time in Rupp Arena, and Double Zero has absolutely delivered on that promise to his head coach. The problem is you're up against a Florida team. I think they're the best in college ball right now, scoring within the first 4 seconds. Houck, normally the guy that gets out in front.
Flagrant, which will mean 2 shots in the ball for the Gators.
Ravi, that's the right call, because no way was that an attempt to make a play on the ball. Just an obvious grab by Jasper Johnson, who has a lot of growth in front of him if he's going to be SEC ready next year. The motor, to me, he's got to get hotter. The strength has to be there. He's got to develop his game. He's got a lot of talent with him, but, man, a big-time mistake in a tough game that Kentucky
Very
Must
talented.
win to play on Friday in Nashville.
He's a very talented kid. Came in highly rated. He's had some good moments.
Yep. To our point, 11-0 fast break points for Florida early in this game.
Yeah, it's the punch and it's the counter punch.
Yeah.
And
This could
Florida
be big.
has. Go ahead, Dick.
This could really be big right here, Carl. You get 2 free throws.
And the ball.
Possession of the ball.
You know, an ideal coach's dream, have an 8-man rotation. Florida has found that 8-man rotation, and Isaiah Brown has really provided them with muscle off the bench, let alone what he does physically and shooting-wise on and off the court defensively.
I'm going to say this right here. Win or lose, I've done several now Kentucky games. Win or lose, $22 million this team reports are in terms of the NIL for their players. I think at $22 million, they could have put together a better roster than they did. I really do.
Condon, a little flip up there, and 2 more points in the paint. They've now got 14 of them.
There's no drop-off, really, when Florida goes to the bench. Those guys check in, and deliver, and produce. Kentucky has not found that 8 that can do it for Mark Pope.
Right. It's been a game of runs. It started with Florida, then a 9-0 run for Kentucky. We're in the middle of an 8-0 run for the Gators.
Dick, to your point, the top 9 guys projected in the next draft are true freshmen. Not one from Kentucky. That's unusual when you come to Rupp Arena.
Especially
Diabate
when you got $22 million to go the players.
denied by the rim and hand locked
I
it.
think a lot of schools would like to have those
Yeah.
$100 and the support. Not only the money, they got great support here. These big Blue Nation fans are so passionate. They deserve better.
Hawks 3. Good.
Oh, he's special. He is special. I love that combination of Houck and suddenly Chinyalu. He is really another rebounder. This guy's multi-talented, can score.
Look at the defense. It leads to a turnover and an easy run out for Boogie Fland. A 13-0 run for Florida, and Kentucky and Mark Pope want to talk it all over.
You can say
Is
a
this
lot
what
about
we saw?
Florida.
Like the Texas A&M game,
Yep.
27-3. Spur.
One thing about Florida, you better play hard or they will embarrass you.
Did you know that with Walmart Express Delivery, prescriptions come in as fast as an hour? Blake knew. Looks urgent.
Stinging nettles.
Sometimes nature heals, but not all the times.
Wow.
The Walmart you thought you knew is now new.
Spring, the unofficial new year for tool people. New jobs, new projects. Celebrate your new year with quality tools and savings at Harbor Freight. Unbeatable deals right now at Harbor Freight's parking lot sale. Don't miss out.
Grabbing this play, this is all smoke over here. The play is going to be designed for a dribble handoff and have to come over. And Kentucky just makes a mistake. They get buried low, and that's easy money. Boom, the rear screen frees up Houck, who has now become a trusted 32, 33% three-point shooter. Todd Golden, as good as he is defensively, man, does he run some good stuff on the offensive end.
Todd Golden is one of the rising superstars in the coaching fraternity. I mean, superstar, no doubt about it.
Yeah,
Guys like him and John Shire, what they have done at such a young age is incredible.
The Abate baseline, there's going to be a foul against the Gators.
You just have to keep going, though, at Florida if you're Mark Pope right now. And Diabate and to me, Owe are the 2 guys you can isolate, come out of a timeout, come out of a dead ball, and get those guys going downhill. Win your one-on-one matchup is so important in the month of March.
So you're a baseball fan, and you know when you give a team extra outs, the other team is going to kill you. On a basketball level, when a team against Florida turns the ball over,
Trouble.
misses layups,
In trouble.
they're going to kill you.
In trouble. You just say, ouch. Ouch.
In this most recent run, Florida has made 5 in a row. Kentucky had 3 turnovers in their last 4 trips. We took what was once a very tight game, and now you see it's 33-19.
Well, turnovers have hurt them in their losses. If you look at the numbers don't lie. They have more turnovers constantly when losing and less when they win. When they win, they're like 9 turnovers a game. They're close to 12 when they lose. You know, Mark has such passion as a coach. People love him, man. People really love him here. They want him so badly to do well. He's one of their own. Played for Rick Pitino. Backdoor cut.
Pretty
What a
play
great
by Lee.
play. What a
Same
great-
action.
Yeah.
You got smoke over here on the right side of the floor. The whole thing is to the left side. Burn that cut off. Really well done by Florida.
Well, great execution right there. So efficient.
15-point lead. Chandler is still without a point today for Kentucky.
They have shut him down. He struggled against Texas A&M. He was 1 for 5. He must have heard you because he's going to score. Oh,
No way. That would be big, and it is. Otega always got 3 threes and 14 points.
Your first shot has to be good against Florida. Why? Because Florida, Ravi, they're only allowing 8 second chance points per game, 6th best in the country.
Great job by Diabate to blow up the alley-oop. Is this the Kentucky run? Aberdeen too strong. Oweh to the floor. Numbers for the Gators.
They won't wait.
Oh, he needs some help, man. He needs some help. Them guys got to help him, Aberdeen and Chandler.
He's
They're
back.
veterans.
Good job by Kentucky to zone up until Oweh got back to matchup.
Princeton transfer, Lee in traffic. Throws it to Condon, who throws up a McHale-like jump hook and knocks it down.
You know, Lee went to Princeton. He was tremendous there. Passing, very cerebral, obviously, and just a really solid point guard. Sis, that was a perfect example right there. Nice little two-man game he completed.
Oweh throws it up, too strong. Hauk had it. No, it's hand locked in, and they try to run again. They will be able to. Fland, and Lee is there for another 2.
From
Nobody
the turnover,
there.
from the turnover to the net, 4-5 seconds.
Maybe.
The best team speed 1 through 5 are the Florida Gators in college ball, and it's
No.
not even close, I don't think.
No defensive transition at all. I mean, they got to stop the ball. You got to get up the court.
It's a different speed.
Wow.
They
Yeah.
overwhelm you is
They
what
do.
Florida's
That's a good
been doing.
word.
They overwhelm you.
They are so good. I don't care what happens here today. Wow, they're going to be a tough outcome tournament time. They got a great chance to go Billy Donovan 206 and 27. I mean, really, they got a great chance to go back-to-back.
If you think about it, there are 4 teams coming in today that are top 10 in both offensive and defensive efficiencies.
They're one of them.
Duke,
Yep.
Michigan, Arizona, and the Florida Gators.
You stole my notes. You stole my notes. I had that coming up.
I'll give him a lot of credit.
Hey, you stole my chicken last night at dinner. You stole my
Unbelievable.
chicken at dinner last night. That famous Charles Barkley chicken, I got some of it with you last
We
night.
had a great dinner last night at
Oh, it
Merrick's.
was awesome.
Emmy was
Emmy.
a great waitress, and we got to thank Lexi. Lexi did a great job for us. Lexi did a great job in arranging that dinner.
Yes.
Plus, the price was right. They didn't charge us.
Brandon Garrison puts it back up and in. Flan hands to Hauk. Another
God.
jump hook. Boy, have they mastered that shot.
Again, they take it out of the net and get it in the
Yeah.
net within 4.5 seconds.
Yeah, they really get the ball up the court really well.
It's not enough just to get back against Florida. You got to get back, stop the ball, and build a wall.
Yeah, and they just bring in 3 fresh legs. It seems like every 2 or 3 minutes he's subbing in and out. And as you mentioned, each one as effective as the next. We haven't seen Chinyelu in a while. They lead 41-25. He's been on the bench.
Boy, they can guard theirs, can they not? They do not have to overhelp. Talking about Florida defense.
Yeah, Diabate penetrates, no good. Chinyelu in traffic rips it away.
He's got 18 double-doubles.
18 of them.
Unbelievable.
He's got more games with 15 or more rebounds than the rest of the SEC combined.
Last 2 games, he's had 16 in each game.
Chinyelu, that's going to be a foul.
He's the best rebounder in college ball, and you really can talk about him doing it on both ends. Man, this Florida team, they are so well-rounded. They overwhelm you, as Ravi said, in a lot of ways. But off that defensive glass, they get that thing out and sprint. And a terrific pass by Boogie Flan. Remember, he originally committed to Kentucky, followed Cal to Arkansas, and now he's a Gator. Thomas Hauk, he scraps, he fights, he's got a motor, and he's a future lottery pick.
24 points in the paint. 24.
Same hard-playing dudes that want to be coached every day, and I think it's led by the motor of guys like Thomas Hauk, Coach.
Yeah, Hauk is really special, no question. He's multi-talented, but I really think it all starts with the guy on the sideline. I think a guy like when I watch Golden or I watch John Shire, they have a way when they communicate, the players respond. A lot of coaches communicate, but they don't get the response back in a positive way. I want to say one other thing about Florida, Carl. I know you love them, and you have a right to love them. So many people in Gainesville love them as well. But, you know, they started off slow. They were 5-4. They lost 3 NBA guards. I mean, not one. They lost Clayton. They lost the kid Martin. They lost the kid Richard, who's in Golden State. it took a while for Flan and it took a while for Lee to get into the rhythm.
Yeah.
Once they got guard play, also Klevsar has been really good for them off the bench. Once they got guard play to go with that front guard, they've been running away with people, embarrassing people.
There'll be discussions about whether they're a better team than last year's national championship team because of what you just said. They're a little more well-rounded. I mean, that's for sure. They have both back and front court.
They're better on this end. Defensively they're
too.
a better team on this end. They're still a top 10 offensive team. You talk about that balance, and man, those guards, Flan and Lee and Klevsar, have really come on. Low turnovers. Todd Golden, I watched film with them about 3 weeks ago. He said, here's how we make a run to the title again. We hit singles on offense by pounding it inside. We don't turn it over. We defend our tails off, and we dominate the glass. That's why Florida's one of the best 3 teams in the country right now.
All right, guys, the Jeep halftime report is coming up. Reese, Jay Williams, Seth Greenberg, they're on the road, of course, with the Carolina heading to Cameron. They'll get into the Yukon, getting spoiled by Marquette today. They'll certainly review the Vanderbilt-Tennessee game, which affords this Kentucky team a chance to move all the way up to a 4 seed in the tournament if they can get there, the SEC.
You know, those guys are going to talk about that Duke-Carolina game. I just got word, I don't know if it's true or not, they say Gangba's not playing for Duke.
Yeah, there was a chance he wasn't going to play as Hauck knocks down another 3.
He's a very important player, man. Great size, the first-round draft choice.
An
got a foot
absolute
problem.
machine are the Florida Gators.
Yeah, Thomas Hauck's had a game already, 17 points.
That's why the scouts love him, man. They love him.
Oweh. Yeah, he's the only guy doing his job today. He's got 17 of the 30.
He's a guy that you can just take off a script and say, hey, go make us a play. And Oweh's a guy that can do it.
He's such a plus player. He really plays so hard. I will never forget a game last year against Oklahoma. He literally carried the whole team on his back to the victory. One of the best performances I saw all year by an individual player.
So, Ravi, let's talk about Ruben Chinyelu at that free throw line. I've said for a month now he's the best defensive player in all of college ball. Some other guys maybe protect the rim a little better. No one protects the entire half court better than this kid. Think about it. He's the #1 defensive rebounding percentage guy in the country at 31%. If you value defense, you value guys that can finish off the defensive possession, he's the best in the country by a long shot.
And he also has a lot of help around him in terms of guys like Condon and guys like Hauck.
Yeah, he's also the #2 offensive rebounding guy.
He's 11.5 a game, leads the nation rebounding.
He plays with the same gratitude and thankfulness that Oscar Tshiebwe
I remember that.
played here from Kentucky.
Yeah.
So Kentucky's got a minute and a half here to try to cut to the 16-point deficit. Aberdeen in the paint, and he gets the finger roll to go. Now can they stop Florida?
Score. He's a former Gator, played on their championship team, averaged 7 points a game, was a key player coming off the bench. Had 19 in the first match.
Klevsar, boy, no, they can't stop Florida. Another 3, and they've made 6 in this first half.
He will be, I believe, the 6th man of the year in the SEC. He single-handedly shot Florida into that SEC lead starting about 4 or 5 weeks ago.
Oweh got rid of Brown. He drove in. Hauck blocked it.
You know, I agree with you. He's really a double-figure scorer.
He is. He's a starter.
Only plays 20-some minutes. He's got 11 points a game. He's really done well. They got 6 guys that average double figures.
Remember the narrative at the beginning of the year, Jimmy, and we did a lot of their games early. They just couldn't shoot from 3. They're now out shooting their SEC opponents in conference in 3, and today they've made 6 of 9. They're shooting 66%.
Yeah, Klevsar carried them until Lee and Boogie Flan and Hauck started making threes. The other thing about Klevsar, just 4 turnovers in his last 150 minutes on the floor.
Yeah, Oweh lost that off his chest. It's loose. Hauck picks it up.
They play with so much more confidence than they played earlier in the year.
Nope.
What
Just
was
like
that?
Jimmy said, nope, that's not going to happen. We are not taking that bus, no. "17 points.
Ravi, with LJ Kaysen being out for Michigan, who I thought was so important as that backup point guard. To me, right now, the best 3 teams.
What a block by Brown on Oweh, whose legs may be a little tired, and they get their last shot up 17 points.
To me, it's clearly Duke, Arizona, and these Florida Gators. I think there's separation between those three and the other group of 8 or 9 that could find their way to that Final Four.
Yeah, and because they're not playing each other head-to-head, it's hard. We have sort of recency bias. We see Florida all the time.
Tournament-wise, I agree with you about the top 3, but Houston in tournament and Connecticut with Hurley in tournament, very dangerous. Very dangerous.
Our Women's Championship Sunday ESPN lineup. Game day crew's going to be at the Well. That's, of course, Greenville, South Carolina. Noon Eastern, 9 a.m. Pacific. 6 title games highlighted by, we'll focus on 3. The Ally ACC Championship matchup begins at 1 Eastern, then the SEC, and we finish up with a Phillips 66 Big 12 title online. College basketball fans, best time of the year.
It is, Ravi. I'm working the women's NCAA tournament, the first and second round, and there's a lot of great storylines right now. One of them is UConn or UCLA going to be the overall #1 seed? Most people think it's UConn, but if you look at the numbers, UCLA has more quad 1 wins, more top 25 wins. They blitzed that Big Ten with the regular season undefeated. There is a case for UCLA to be the overall #1 seed.
They may get it, but when it's all said and done, you can talk all you want about all those teams. When it's said and done,
You're
give
thinking
the
UConn.
trophy to Gino Auriemma. Connecticut will find a way.
That's a
to
quality of
win the
conference and
championship.
schedule conversation.
Yeah.
Here we go with the last 6 seconds. The play is to Chinyelu. Denied there in Kentucky. Chandler throws it to Yelovich. Denied, and that will end the half. A big-time first-half statement by the Florida Gators. They get near half 100. 17 for Thomas Houck. 17 for Otega Owe. And it's a 17-point lead.
Unbelievable. When you got a team that excels defensively and offensively, they got a chance to do well.
Do great, and they're doing great so far. Cameron Indoor, we are headed to Reese Davis, Jay Williams, and Coach Seth Greenberg. For the Hall of Famer Dick Vitale and Jimmy Dykes, I'm Carl Ravitch. It was overwhelming. I mean, if there's a little silver lining, Kentucky playing that way can compete with a lot of teams. Just today, not Florida.
Yeah, you know, it's Tsunami describes Florida pretty well in that first half. They just overwhelm you, I think, with overall team speed and pounding the ball inside. Think about this. In the last 2 games and a half for Florida, they have 59 either layups or dunks. That's how powerful they are around the rim. Thomas Houck is leading the charge right now. His motor, his skill, his scrappiness. When you're good and you're losing your confidence, you look over at us at halftime and say, hey, we've got this one. That's
you
the
know,
swagger.
you know.
When you know,
Exactly,
you know.
right.
Yeah.
Tell you one thing, you look at them, Jimmy, they're 21-1. Florida were leading at the half. One loss was to TCU. Bottom line is, when they're executing from the perimeter and the interior and defending, they're not going to be beat. And right now, Kentucky has one player that has risen to the challenge. The senior Owe, 17 points. They have nothing from Chandler, nothing from Aberdeen. They're not going to win unless those guys contribute making some threes.
Yeah, Chandler's 0 for 2. They've been on him like a glove, and it's Fland who's following Aberdeen to start. Xavier Lee's been on Chandler. Owe, outstanding 17. Look out, the block from Condon. Help.
Ravi, in the 2 games versus Florida, Kentucky, they have now missed 21 layups. 21 layups. They've only made 9. That's that length that just overwhelms you.
It gets in your head, man.
It does.
It does, I agree with you there, but that was certainly no layup that you could say was missed. That was a great
blocked.
defensive play.
That
Come
was
on.
return
He
to
blocked
sender.
the shot, Jimmy.
Message return to sender.
Return to sender.
24-10 in the paint, and again, that fast break number 17-0. Here's a turnout, and here comes Chandler. Watch out for Condon. Wow, he didn't block it. That's another missed layup or dunk. And Lee the other way. Finger roll, no good. Chinyelu out battles Moreno. He ripped it away from him and put it
Are you
up
serious?
and in.
Are you serious? That is a rebounder, man. That does remind me of Toshiba when he was here at Kentucky. Relentless, tenacious. What other word could I use, Carl? Come on, help me out.
Pugnacious.
Wow.
There you go, Moreno, and you feel good for him having just been out-rebounded on the other end to go get one.
The first 2 points by Moreno in this game. He's just outsized and outmanned right now. He's got a terrific future. Talking about Moreno, man, so important for Kentucky to get something going right now. The opening 4 minutes of the second half.
He had a double-double against Florida the first time they play. I agree with you. Moreno's got a good future. He's up and down, though, right now because he's so young.
Fland. That's no good. So a stop. Now they're going to try to turn it into some points. Cut into this thing. Oweh. Left hand strong. No good. And Yelovich. Chandler's three.
And again, Condon sprinted the floor and interrupted the transition look.
Good hustle by Fland to regain it. Hauk sees the paint, throws it up wildly. Chinyelu gets called with a push on Yelovich, and that'll be an offensive foul on Ruben Chinyelu.
Ravi, in the last 3 weeks, Alex Condon has approached every game talking to him about, I'm just going to kick people's tail. He's no longer worried about the three-point shooting. His effort, his toughness, his tenacity between he and Chinyelu, just such a tough cover. And Chinyelu he doesn't rent the rim. He owns the rim when he plays.
He owns the 3-second area, baby.
He does that too.
He owns. He said, thou shalt not enter thy lane.
7 rebounds.
Commandment. Rebounding.
You know, Jimmy, you talked about their ability to play on the defensive end. And what a clinic. And that's going to be a foul on Moreno. He pushed Lee from behind.
Ravi, they're better this year defensively. And as good as Walter Clayton and those guys were at times, they could be taken advantage of on the defensive end. Not this group, man. Todd Golden's got them locked in.
That could almost be a flagrant right there. That was done with intent.
So Handlockton now is into the game. Chinyelu gets his break. To keep an eye on just the way that Golden substitutes his players to keep them all fresh. Ooh, he got hit right in the eye. Maybe an elbow up there from Chandler, or a finger, as Xavier Lee is dealing with his right eye.
Well, Chandler trying to blow up that dribble handoff action, but Florida, they play so fast on the offensive end. Their cuts into dribble handoffs. Well, first of all, that could have been a foul on Handlockton, because he stepped right into that path of Chandler. The second guy got caught.
They're going to look at it.
Yeah, they'll look at that one.
Looked like the right hand of Chandler got into the eye of Lee.
I don't think it was intentional at all.
No, I would agree with that.
I don't think it was intentional at all.
Well, they missed the first foul on Handlockton stepping out. It was a moving screen on Chandler that didn't get called. Yeah.
Looking at the
That right hand right there, yeah.
Yeah, I mean, Handlockton fouled Colin Chandler right here. That is a moving screen that doesn't get called, and then Colin Chandler gets his arms out, gets into the face area of Xavier Lee, and that's what we're looking at.
He was simply trying to get over the top of the screen.
Yeah.
He didn't want to go third man. He was trying to get over the top.
I mean, 20,000 plus can see that Handlockton moved, no doubt.
These are the rowdy reptiles here, not reptiles. They're rowdy reptiles the way this game is going, and they're not happy with that whistle. Fellas, tonight on ABC, before the Warriors and Thunder at 8:30 Eastern Time, your buddy Charles, who you're going to do one of the first 4 games. He, along with Ernie and Kenny and Shaq, they'll tip off our coverage at 8. Back at 11 Eastern, 8 Pacific to break it all down, and anything else that was big in the association. Warriors lead the Thunder, by the way, 3-0 this season. And Curry is still out, but Charles is going to be on tonight.
I tell you, I can't wait to work with Charles in that game with Ryan Anderson. Ryan does a great job at TNT. Spoke to him on the phone. I can't wait, man. I also can't wait, man, to sell some raffle choices for my car raffle. We're trying to get money for kids battling cancer. And I know Kentucky people are very generous. I mean, there it is right there. $100, a chance to win a new Porsche. To win a new Porsche, just go to v.org/Vital Raffle. v.org/Vital Raffle. And every dollar goes for kids battling cancer to the Jimmy Eade Foundation.
Common foul is the call on the floor. They reviewed it, looked at it. Common foul stays 51-34. And Dick, people have said it, but your legacy is going to be 2 things. It's obviously what you do here, but it's what you've done to raise millions for cancer research.
Well, we've raised so far $105 million. I'm so proud of my gala. And I'll give you a little report now. I haven't given to anybody. Next year, I already got our people I'm going to honor.
Yep.
Todd Golden is one of them.
All right.
Marcus Freeman at Notre Dame is the other. Terry Bradshaw is the other. And then special awards to our guy, Jay Harris.
Yes.
He's battling cancer. He'll get the John Saunders Award. And we give it a special award to Laura Rutledge. She's a Gator graduate.
Okay.
So it's going to be a great, great night.
Rutt's tuning into this, I'm sure, watching her Gators.
Will Todd Golden still be the coach at Florida in 2 years? Because he can have any opportunity he wants, man.
Yeah, how about Handlock? Then he had a shot there. Already reports surfacing that if perhaps somebody like Bill Self decides to step away, Kansas would be interested in Golden. Yelovich, finally they get a couple in the paint.
Get the ball inside. I don't think Bill Self's going anywhere, but I'll tell you one thing. I don't think Todd Golden's going to leave Florida too soon. He loves it down in Gainesville. They love him.
Yes, Avian Lee's shot, no good, and a couple of empty trips, but an offensive rebound. Houck and Condon have a special relationship, very, very close buddies. And there is Condon who guts it and throws it up and in.
He's really playing so aggressive on the inside. You know what he went? He went through a little spurt. He was trying to prove to the pro scouts, I can shoot the three, and he really struggled. And he realized, no, I'm going to go to my strength. And the pro guys like what they see of his strength.
Bad pass turned over.
Alex Condon is the best passing big man to ever play in Florida. That's how good he is with the ball.
We'll take a timeout. It's 53-36.
The last couple of months.
Pretty good choices right there. I love Todd Golden as coach of the year, certainly in the conference. He's done a great job. Probably be up for some votes to be national coach of the year. I got a surprise, my national coach of the year. I'm going to tell you right now, I'm going for a guy in Miami, Ohio. I'm telling you right now,
Man of Steel.
anytime you are 31-0, that's perfection. And he is my national coach of the year. I don't care. People say, well, who do they play? Well, the Mid-American Conference is a very tough conference. Everything is equal. And you go 31-0, it is special. Player of the year, Cameron Boozer. And my first guy in the NBA will be absolutely the big guy, A.J. Demancic.
Yeah. There's been some talk about maybe Peterson, Cam Boozer, Darius Acuff is sliding up into that top five. To your point about Miami, Ohio, people say they haven't beaten anybody. Wrong. They've beaten everybody. They've beaten everybody on their schedule. What else can they do, right?
The Red Hawks, babe. The Red Hawks are special.
And a heck of a
They're
game
awesome,
late last
baby.
night. A heck of a game late last night to get to 31-0.
That's their fourth overtime game
Yeah,
they've won this
they've
year.
had some close ones.
Look at the Florida Gators down here. They quietly won 10 in a row. Not quietly, we've been talking about it all day, but 31-0
Right. I mean,
for
10
Miami.
10 is good, but it's basically the bottom three
It is.
combined.
The midshipmen, 14 in a row.
The Naval Academy doing
Yeah.
a phenomenal job, man. Phenomenal.
I didn't know it till I saw the graphic.
3-on-3, Chandler
What a
ahead,
pass.
bounce pass Aberdeen, and a dunk, and Conlon
Big
Chandler
time
welcome
play
to the
right
game.
there. Great look, filled the lane, 45-degree angle, great drop and a bounce pass. That's execution.
It is, and they got to stop. Now you got a chance to go on a little bit of a run.
Denzel Aberdeen will be on an NBA roster next year, probably as the third point guard, but he's 6'4", doesn't turn it over, and he's learned to make shots from the perimeter.
Oweh not afraid to challenge Condon. They get 3-on-2, Fland right at Aberdeen, up and in.
That's an example. He was a big-time high school recruit. Coming out of New York City, Calipari was unbelievably high on him. Unfortunately, he had an injury while he was at Arkansas. That set him back a little, but he's playing really well now.
It's another example of how quickly they counter-punch. As we take a look at Boogie Fland, a former McDonald's All-American. We heard Jimmy talk about it. Of course, he was a commit, and he followed Cal to Arkansas, and then, of course, came here to Florida, started every game this year with the Gators, and in a lot of ways has really changed his game. I mean, he came out as a scorer, a guy expected to do just about everything. It's a little different this year.
No doubt, he's made half of his three-point shots over the last 4 games, 7 out of 14 coming in. He's got long arms, he's got big hands, he doesn't turn it over. And Todd Golden said today, I didn't know what I was getting when I got Boogie Fland in terms of will he take coaching, will he not? absolutely has not fought Todd Golden one time. He has had a special year.
Yeah.
Well, we had him against Alabama. He had 8 assists and he had 8 steals.
He was great.
Defensively, he was already scored.
Yeah.
Aberdeen pulls up. That's way short. He's got another chance, this time for an
They need
extra
this.
point. And he missed that one.
Can he get
Let's
a
do
third?
it again. There you go.
Hey,
He
1
looks
for
up to
3.
the sky.
You're in the Hall of Fame in baseball. You got 1 for 3. You're in the Hall of Fame in baseball.
Kentucky just needs a really good 2 minutes. Back-to-back stops, back-to-back makes, and the party in Rupp will get loud.
Hauk. That time denied. A big block by Garrison. A little energy right now inside Rupp Arena, the way the Cats are playing.
Run through it.
Yeah, Aberdeen had a chance to deny it. He blew it up, and it is wow. They're going to say it stays with the Gators, that it did not go off Klapschar.
Mark Pope looking at his video guy behind the bench, and that's got to be a really fast decision. I don't think he gambles right here.
That was poor execution on the bounce and
Yeah.
under the basket. Not efficient at all.
Two-man game again. They were good in the first half.
Yeah, 6 seconds on the shot clock. And Flan fires.
Come
Got
on
it,
now.
boy. Boogie Flan, have a game. He's got 11.
For a guy that shoots with his right elbow not under the ball, man, has he seen a good rim the last 3 weeks.
Pick your poison, though, isn't it? The way that
Yeah.
they played today. Kentucky gets a little bit of momentum going, and somebody stifles it. Garrison steps in. That's a pretty move, Brandon Garrison.
Good job to rotate and get off that help defense by Brandon Garrison. Just trying to hang in this game right now is Kentucky.
That one thing Garrison did well in that last game against Texas A&M. Even though they lost the game, he and Diamante really came up really solid for Kentucky. Kentucky is really, I tell you, they're a mystery team. They beat Tennessee twice.
Yeah, beat
I
St.
mean,
John's,
really.
Big
In both
East
games,
champs,
they
yeah.
came from behind. They were down 17 and 14 and won those games.
Chinulu spins to the left on Garrison, and that cannot be denied.
He just makes hard plays look easy.
That's an M&M over here. It's a mismatch, baby.
No doubt.
That's an NC, no contest.
Aberdeen, he will go to the free throw line as Chinulu will pick up a foul.
Ravi, that low post play, going back to Chinulu, it's the low post is determined by the first guy to make contact and the first guy to get low. And that's what Chinulu does. He's going to bring the contact there, boom, and then spin off of it. And that's a winning play by Ruben Chinulu. Comes through that same NBA Africa Academy that so many guys have taken advantage of. He plays the game and lives every day with gratefulness and thankfulness about him. Just a joy to be around. He makes your day better when you talk with him.
I'll tell
Like
you this,
you,
Jimmy.
Coach.
Jimmy, I'm going to ask you a question.
All right.
Right now, you look at Kentucky. Preseason, pick number 2 in the SEC behind Florida. Top 10 team ranked, everybody excited about all the new guys they got. Your assessment where they are today.
The standard at Kentucky, Coach, and you know this, is not 6th, 7th, or 8th in the SEC. The standard at Kentucky, there's a banner in the Kraft Center that says National Championship number 9. Did they miss on some of their evaluations in the portal? Probably, but they're not the only team that did it. But it's not an excuse. And Mark Pope knows the pressure that he's under as this Kentucky head coach. But he is relentless to get Kentucky back where he knows they're supposed to be.
And Diabate just went into traffic, and that was 6 arms there. Brown, Handlockton, and Hauk to block it. And Isaiah Brown's got a corner 3. That will not go. The other part of the Kentucky story, fellas, the injuries. I mean, they've had big injuries to Quaintance, to Lowe, and to Harris. So
Well,
a point
let me say
guard, a
this.
shooter, and a front court defensive presence.
The people want them to do so well. They want Mark Pope to succeed here.
Yeah.
I mean, they are really cheering. That's the injuries you talked about. Quaintance, I talked to Bob Hurley this week. He told me he was the best defensive player he has seen in many a year. That's a big loss, but you had to know, bringing him in, you had an ACL surgery. I mean, the bottom line is they want Mark Pope to do well. They really do. The fans here were ecstatic when he was named their head coach. Rick Pitino swears by him. And they showed Pitino what he thought of him, and he beat St.
Boy,
John's.
that's a contested 3 for Jasper Johnson. All right, 13 now is the deficit.
Mark Pope got Kentucky to the Sweet 16 last year. the first time since 2019. There are some Kentucky fans at times are a little delusional, about 10% of them. Mark Pope is the right guy for Kentucky basketball right now.
Brown wide open, denied there by Moreno.
What a rotation by Marino.
They keep
Marino
the
made a
momentum going.
Marino did a great job at timing-wise.
Aberdeen short again. He needs one more. He's better on the third try.
Now he's 1 for 5. 1 for 5 gets you on the bench in baseball.
Boy, Houck slammed it off of Handlockton. It ends up in Brown's hands. No good. And it's getting frenetic here at Rupp. And Brown slows it all down.
Don't they play with a swagger and a confidence and a looseness about them that you absolutely love in March, talking about Florida.
Joe Brown has really become better and better as the season progressed.
Boy, Oweh went right at Handlockton in the 7-2. Said, not here. Lee. No, tipped up and in. Houck, and here's the overwhelming
That's the
nature
rebound.
of Florida.
When you're the
The
best
rebound.
offensive rebound team in the country, there's value in just getting the ball up on the glass, just like Lee did.
I mean, it was 13 like 40 seconds ago. It's not 13 anymore. Isaiah Brown buries a 3. They're only 7 of 21 from the floor this half. And yet they are doing a job. Still up by 1 in this half and 66-48 overall. Especially as you're loyal to your conference. And we're in the women's and we're about to enjoy the men's. We'll be headed to Nashville for the SEC. Dickey's going to be calling the ACC championship game. But right now, the way they've played today, and certainly their last 10, Florida feels like a team that's going to not only defend the national championship, they're very well going to be the favorite going into the SEC tournament.
Florida shooting 50% from the three-point line in this game. Month by month, that Florida three-point shooting percentage has gone up and up and up. We've talked about it all year long. We've never had a national champion shoot 30% or less as a team and cut down the nets.
Yeah,
Florida now above that number.
Boy, Lee just missed a layup there, and Yelovich had a rebound. He found his way because he got that big roadblock down in the paint. Johnson, another 3. That's no good, and look at how Condon and Chinyalu battled for the rebound.
Boy, Lee is so quick. He really
Yep.
is. He's so quick.
Rupp Arena was absolutely boisterous when this day started. It's gone quiet now, and Chandler's going to pick up the foul. They have missed 5 shots in a row, has Kentucky. The 13-point deficit has grown to 18. We're under 10 as the Gators try to close out the regular season with a resounding win.
To where they are now, the month-by-month improvement. Todd Golden understood we've got a better shot of winning a national title if that three-point percentage goes up. And if you add March, for the month of March, I know it's two games, but they're over 40%. So, man, what a steady climb. That's a legit national title threat right now, the team in orange.
And there's a lot of looks. You just saw Boogie Flan there. You saw Thomas Houck bouncing his head to the beat of the music during the timeout. Todd Golden, they do know what they're capable of. And having that experience from last season goes a long way. And just one other point about how they're feeling. We go to the shoot-arounds. Each team will shoot half-court shots at the end of the shoot-around. How many did they make in a row?
They made 4 in a row.
And how many
did
did they make, the players overall? From half court?
Yeah, 6 out of their
6
14
shots.
guys, yeah.
I saw greatness in that kid when I did his game. He was real young in San Francisco, and they were playing against Gonzaga. And I said in that telecast, you can go to the camera and you can go down there and get the video and listen to my quote. He's going to be a star in coaching. That is a fact. That's not an opinion now. That was a fact. I made that statement. So once in a while, I do get right.
Yes.
but let me say this
More
about
than
Mark
once in a
Pope.
while, Dick.
Let me say this about Mark Pope. His leadership skills were shown on Pitino. He was captain of the 96 team that won the national championship. That team had nine guys in the NBA. You look here at Golden, and he is Golden right now. And there's Pope right here. We talk about him. You know what he did in the NCAA tournament in 96? I'll tell you this. He did this. Bottom line is, scored 57 points, had 36 rebounds, 13 blocks in the NCAA tournament, coming off the bench for that great Kentucky team. That was a Pitino team that was special. They would have won the national title again, I really believe, in '97 if they had the kid Anderson who got hurt, one of their star players.
Yeah.
He
Yeah,
got
Derek
hurt.
Anderson got hurt.
Yeah.
If they had him, they would have won then, and they would have won the third year if he stayed there, but they won it anyway with Tubby Smith, who did a great job with that team.
All right, Yelovich will knock a three down right in front of his own bench. Here we come again. We're within 15.
Todd Golden, Dan Hurley, Nate Oates, John Shire, those are the faces of college basketball over the next 15 years.
And look, after last season's run of the Final Four, you'd say the same thing about Pope. A bunny, no good. There's a rip, and it's going to be Kentucky basketball.
You cut off on me, Jimmy. Did you say Tommy Lloyd?
Tommy Lloyd, another one. That
You
would
got
be
to put
the,
him in
that
there
would
with
be the
Shire.
fifth
You
one.
got to
Yeah.
put him in there with Golden.
Those
That's
young
funny.
guys, man, getting it done. Dusty May at Michigan, another young guy. Those are your faces going forward in college ball. John Shire and Duke coming up after us.
Bad pass, nearly picked off, and Johnson had it, and he lost it.
They'll
And
shoot it.
Gators will try to take advantage, and Boogie Flan's big smile on his face got fouled on that three-point attempt, so he'll get 3 free throws.
Ravi, there are some things that you can't pick up on film until you're sitting courtside, but the speed of Florida,
Yes.
again, ripping the ball off the glass and advancing at that time, Flan got fouled within the first 5 seconds of the possession. The overall team speed is just overwhelming.
Not only their speed, their execution, efficiency.
Yeah.
Know where to get the ball out, know how to fill lanes. You can see that they run their fast break drills, and they execute it during the game. A lot of guys look great in practice, fast break drills, but they don't execute it.
Dick, Florida actually, on days that they actually practice, they start off the practice with a progressive full court 3-on-2, 4-on-3, 5-on-4, just constant for about 6 or 7 minutes, playing fast, all 5 guys handling the ball. I think that's something that Todd Golden really believes in, that all 5 guys have to be a guard in transition, and absolutely they are. Only 8 turnovers a day for as fast as they play.
They can handle the ball. They really can. They're so effective with their ball handling skills.
But Condon was a point guard growing up. I mean, a lot of these guys were the best players when they were younger and handled the ball a lot, but he empowers them to do those types of things. Fland, after the miss, is going to get called for the foul.
Ravi, think about this. This is just the second team since 1947, talking about Florida, to have an offensive rebound percentage of over 40% and a defensive rebound percentage of over 75%. The only other team to match it since 1947, North Carolina, the national champions in 2017.
Yeah.
That might be the path that they're on.
Might be. Fland switches, and now Lee has got Chandler in the corner as Johnson dribbles through, throws it up. That was an acrobatic shot. Look at Xavier Lee, wide open and an easy 2. That wasn't so easy once he had to go over that rim.
And he's smiling about that. He's laughing about that. I tell you, Florida just impressive.
Their first thought on a
Impressive.
rebound is who's open down the other end.
Yeah, Florida leaks out
Yes.
more than anybody else in college basketball because they know our 3 can out-rebound your 5.
So we're going to go.
We're out of here.
We are gone.
Like you going to a break right now.
Which what we're doing right now. We'll talk SEC tournament when we come back. 7:30 to go. 71-53. We gone. Games during the day and then as well at night. Florida 71-53 here.
I will tell you this right here. I have a little thought in my mind. I'm saying to myself, I hear about teams 14, maybe even 15 losses possibly getting in the tournament. I find that almost embarrassing. To me, the tournament's supposed to be for excellence, not for mediocrity. That's not even basically mediocre. Oh, wait, with a jump shot mid-range. I really have a problem because all the metrics favor the power conference teams. The mid-majors who are having some great years, some of these teams, they got the burden of having to win their conference, even though they might be 25-2, 25-3. Well, we know that Miami, Ohio shut that down with 31-0.
no doubt.
There's no way in the world they wouldn't be in. But we got teams being considered, though, with 14 losses already.
Chinulu and Moreno, Dickie V, underneath getting a little physical with each other.
Well, they have to put 68 in. There's no argument right now to expand the tournament because you look at that bubble, to your point. Miami of Ohio, regardless of what happens with them, they will be in that NCAA tournament, or it'll be a...
But what's your feeling about a team with 14 losses?
It
In a
depends.
tournament,
Well, yeah.
I have a problem.
Yeah,
That's mediocre at best.
It depends on who the 14 are. Mark Pope saying we need to look at this. My guy got hit in the head. Ravi, going back to the SEC tournament.
Yeah, I just want to let everybody know here, Mark Pope is suggesting to Joe Lindsay that he's holding Moreno, and they blew the whistle on Moreno. So that's why that conversation is taking place.
But you look at Nashville next week. The two teams right behind Florida, Alabama, and Arkansas. Think about this. Florida beat Alabama 100-77. They beat Arkansas 111-77. It's their tournament to lose. Yeah, Mark, that's the action you're talking about right there.
Yeah.
Mark Pope said right at the beginning of that, Chinulu, he felt like had a hook and hold on Moreno.
They going to run in him here? 71-55, 6.5 to go.
If they do, it needs to be over the next 2:50 before you get to that 4-minute media timeout.
This would be the guy to do it. Oweh, pull up three, short, didn't follow it, an easy one for Houck.
Florida can guard their own. Therefore, they're hard to get in defensive rotation. They don't overhelp. They're the top 4 defensive team in the country coming into today.
Moreno's playing with 4 fouls.
You know, offensively, the missed shot is a big plus for Florida.
Sure
it
is.
is.
The way they get on the offensive boards,
That's a good
the
play.
missed shot really is part of their offense.
Yeah, good play by Moreno, who shakes his head, man. He is working his butt off. Aberdeen, nice stop, and then up and in.
Yeah,
Good
but
job.
you're not going to go through or above Chinulu. So good job by Aberdeen to shot fake that long sidestep stop action. And if there's a run for Kentucky, it's got to be back-to-back stops and back-to-back makes right now.
Aberdeen was a major contributor for the Gators last year.
The shooting has changed the ability of teams to double team down low, but Chinulu missed that shot.
They got their stop. Now they got to follow it up with a make. Can you get Colin Chandler loose? They have top blocked him all game long. 5 tucked away in this far right corner.
Oweh, handoff downhill, beat Houck, and he got fouled from behind.
Because of the gravity ability of Chandler in that corner, Colin Chandler, that gets Oweh going downhill with that right hand. Yeah, Denzel Aberdeen, he's still buddies with those Florida Gator guys that he won that national title with. His ability to turn the corner, that shot fake right there, and long side step, stride step into a stop action, the only way to score against a big defender like Chinulu.
Great shot fake. Great shot fake. Tell you one thing, you probably didn't want to leave the Gators, but I think the NIL dollars were pretty big.
Yeah, negotiations went south
Pretty
is
big.
what happened at Florida. Quote.
Negotiations went a little bit south.
Yeah.
Direct quote.
Yeah, direct quote.
Oweh knocks them both down.
He's a gamer, man. I love Oweh. I would love to coach somebody
no
like
doubt.
him. He's an absolute gamer. Always plays hard. Up and down a little bit, shooting a 3, but he has so many positives.
Big trip, man. Big trip. Crowd re-engaged.
Get on the glass if you're Kentucky. Your first shot defense might be good enough. Can you clean up the miss?
Chandler wrapped up with Condon. Houck gets it to him. So he works into the paint. Good defense, 2 seconds to go. Condon. Oh my goodness, a backbreaker.
Well, when it's going well.
They gave him a 2.
He's been on fire the last 5 games, and that's not one of the ways.
That's
by
a
shooting a 3.
Backbreaker for
Unbelievable.
Kentucky, who played terrific defense.
That was Hail Mary time, baby, and the Hail Mary
Sure.
was answered. That looked like one of Ravi's 3s. I saw him shoot it.
Moreno, no, denied there. Diabate had it. Great hustle, hand locked in. And now they'll push. Good hands by Chandler to blow it up.
Should have thrown a bounce pass.
Double-figure
pass.
misses by Kentucky today. Layups at the rim. That length of Florida just swallows people up.
Colin Chandler is 1 of 5. He's taken 5 shots all game.
Chandler really struggled. You also did Texas A&M game.
Well done by
Vanderbilt
Diabate.
gave you the sensational 6 threes.
That's what Diabate talked about in the first half. It's got to be Diabate and Oweh if Kentucky has any life left at all. Driving the ball downhill.
And nearly picked up his 5th foul. Here
Watch
comes
out.
Houck. He missed it. Oweh on hand locked in right at him, and he can't get it to go, but he can get this lead down to 10. And Jimmy, you said it, right at the 4-minute mark, they got a chance to be there.
Yeah, we got a ball game right now. You know Kentucky's in desperation mode. It's senior afternoon in Rupp Arena, and Otega Oweh says, I'm not going away without a 40-minute fight. And Diabate just right through the chest of Condon, not easy to do. Sidesteps off the length, and then Oweh, to your point, comes right back the next possession. It ain't over in Lexington.
Ambassadors for this sport, you've got some amazing memories in this building.
I told Jimmy last night at dinner, I'll never forget the first time I worked with Keith Jackson. First of all, I used to love going out with him the night before for dinner, and I never heard one thing about basketball. I heard all about Coach Wilkerson at Oklahoma, Coach Schembechler at Michigan, and I love sports. He was amazing. But when he gave the opening, hi everybody, Keith Jackson.
Yes.
I got goosebumps.
Yeah, you knew it was a big game.
Goosebumps.
Yeah, like you over the years, sitting with us, you hear your voice, you know it's a big game. I will say this version of Kentucky, how hard they're playing, hanging in this game, they can go to Nashville and win multiple games. You know why? They're playing so hard. And there's a guy here today who played as hard as you can possibly play in a Kentucky uniform, sitting across from us, John Pelfrey,
yes,
one of the former most
that should be
popular
the first
guys.
Rule. That should be the first rule of putting a uniform on,
Yeah,
Jimmy.
no doubt.
Play hard.
His
I
thing's
mean,
down
that
to
should
10.
be automatic.
We got a game, fellas.
Automatic.
10-point game, 15-5. Kentucky runs since Florida grabbed their biggest lead.
Not a possession you want to turn it over, and that is your pressure release in March if you're Florida. The game starts tightening down, and they jackhammer that ball inside to Condon and Hanlockton and Chinyelu. Pressure release, very important this time of the year.
What's at stake in this game? Well, a lot, especially for Kentucky. They got a chance with the win to be a 4 seed. You got a double bye if they can overcome this deficit. A loss maybe has them playing Wednesday. Meantime, Florida is currently a 1 seed. They moved up when Connecticut lost.
I think it's certainly a key for teams to know their strengths and know their weaknesses. Florida knows their strength is to go to the interior when we need a basket.
Rabbi, I mentioned John Pelfrey. That's his wife, Tracy. And Tracy, is she's fighting a winning battle right now, diagnosed with cancer a few months ago, but has finished chemo and then starts radiation next week. And this is the first time that John's been here as a fan, right, Coach?
Yeah, he told me that before the game. His wife has got a clean bill of health from colon cancer. And he also told me he wants to coach. He was a member of the Unforgettables. They were unreal. Fellhouse, Sean Woods, and Richie Farmer, and him. 1991 and 92.
They finally freed up Chandler, who came up short. An offensive rebound and a foul on Xavier Lee.
When I coached here at Kentucky, John Pelfrey was one of my favorite guys. Not the most talented, but he understood, being from Kentucky, the importance of that jersey.
He could shoot the ball. And I'll tell you this with Pelfrey, he wants to coach again. Somebody would be wise, one of the big programs, to hire him as an assistant. He really had no chance where it was at, and no money, small-time program in terms of dollars available. But he really did a great job when he was here at Kentucky.
Think where we are now. Diabate can make free throws. Does Mark Pope want to extend his pressure a little bit? Florida doesn't turn it over. Lee and Flan and Houck, those guys, been really tight with the ball. But I wouldn't be surprised if Mark Pope doesn't do something defensively here just to change it up. Looking to Mark Fox as well. Like, what's our defensive call right now, putting game pressure on Florida with 3:16 to go.
If he makes his free throw, this will be the first time it's been single digits since 28-19, and he couldn't do it.
Yeah,
This
couldn't
is
get the press set up
very
either.
similar to their first meeting. They were down big, came back, and they lost by 9. It seems a similar trend going on here.
Good job by Aberdeen to switch back. So Condon was guarded by Diabate. They switch now again. And Condon's calling for the high-low with Chinyelu. He fires.
That's the shot that Kentucky wanted Florida to take, and Chinyelu took the bait.
That was not a good offensive possession. That ball should have been thrown into Condon.
And they free up Chandler again. He's a streak shooter if he can get one to go down. Aberdeen. Diabate. Took it right at Condon. It's 8.
Condon absolutely lays the wood 3 or 4 times a possession as a physical screener. And so Todd Golden right now with game pressure on him, he's keeping the ball in his primary handler, trying to work off those big roadblock screens of Condon and Chinyelu in the middle part of that floor.
They get a new 20 on the kick on the shot clock. Kentucky's got 1 timeout left. Florida's got 2. Condon inside, too strong as he goes up over Diabate.
He is their point guard at times in late game situations and late clock, and a good job by Todd Golden to isolate Condon and just let that 6'10" guy make a play. Well done, mate.
Nice one-on-one move by Condon. He really attacked the baseline really well.
Aberdeen contested, but he finds the bottom.
Florida playing hard, playing with a lot of passion, feeling. They got to do that the entire game. You can't do it in spurts.
Kentucky's played hard, though. Man, they could get a turnover right here. The ceiling might blow off a Rupp.
I think we had a shot clock issue. One of them down here that Florida was facing had about 29 on it, while the other one had 20, and that's what got the Kentucky bench up and yelling. It wasn't moving.
Well, Alex Condon from Australia, and again, about 3 weeks ago, he said, forget about being a finesse guy. I'm just going to start kicking people's tail, and his numbers have backed it up. Denzel Aberdeen, the Florida Gator that won a national championship last year, wins the battle to the elbow and elevates and sticks one. I've been very impressed with Kentucky's fight back and toughness in this game. Florida's capable of coming on anybody's home floor in this league and knocking you out by 20 or 30. Kentucky, too much fight to allow that to happen today.
Final Saturday, the men's college hoop regular season rolls on. It is hard to believe we're at the final Saturday of the regular season, but tonight on ESPN, it'll be Duke and Carolina. It'll be 6:30 Eastern time, followed by Alabama and Auburn, and it's Texas Tech and BYU. It's the way to round out your regular season here. And Todd Golden told us, like, this is a talented Kentucky team. I love their starting 5. And what they've done today has to serve notice, Nicky V, to every other team that they're going to face about how challenging they're going to be to knock out.
Well, I'll tell you one thing. You don't want to walk out of here thinking you got a moral victory. Moral victories don't count at this level of basketball. And I think you'll hear some of the people, when we play them close, we play them tough. Bottom line is you're Kentucky. You're Kentucky, and you got to leave here either with a win, especially at home. No moral victories. Come on, I don't want to hear that.
It's the Kentucky team that beat St. John's, which is the Big East co-champion at worst. They've beaten Tennessee twice. They've won at Arkansas. Their good is good enough. It's just the up and down roller coaster ride that Mark Pope has been through with his guys this year. And you're talking about Florida. Todd Golden will tell you eye to eye, our goal is to not lose another game this year.
Yeah.
They want to cut down the nets and go back to back, and they're capable of doing it, but they still have work to do right now with 90 seconds to go on the road.
The reason I mentioned that about moral victory, today when I was having lunch over at the Hyatt, I had Kentucky fans saying, hey, we played them close last time. We only lost by 9. I mean, come on.
They're down by 8. They got a chance to double Fland, and we're down to 1:29, and the clock is frozen again. So they reset it to 1:30, and we have a clock malfunction here at Rupp Arena.
Yeah, Todd Golden not happy about it. And it's no one's fault. Those things just happen, but you're trying to close this game out, and now your rhythm has been interrupted. Back-to-back possessions, not ideal at all, because now you're forced to inbounds the ball. So it's an advantage for Kentucky right now for that shot clock malfunction in a small
and
way.
to your point, Dick, to your point, the way that we have talked about Florida, and many have talked about Florida this season and today and since the championship, is how people always talked about Kentucky. So the moral victory part of it speaks to how great they've been and the expectation level. Now, whether those expectations in the NIL era are realistic, that's another question.
Expectations have been always big here, always big.
Hey, our player of the game today, it is brought to you by Voya. He's wearing orange, and it's Thomas Houck, who has played himself into a lottery pick. Today, 19 points, 8 rebounds, 3 assists. He doesn't have a turnover in the game.
He just fixes whatever is the problem in the game. Defensively, he can switch out and take on anything from a 2 through a 5. Offensively, he can drive. He can put fouls on you. He can stick threes. He's a terrific ball mover. And Thomas Houck is the one guy we know for sure will not be back to Florida next year. He will be a lottery pick.
I did.
Should be a lottery pick, no doubt about it. He's so skilled. He's a team player.
Jimmy, to your point now, they're going to inbounds with 3.9 seconds.
Yeah.
And down by 8 is Kentucky. As close as they've been since the 28-19 score in the first half.
Well, that's why Todd Golden is so upset, because he had the ball in the middle of the third of the floor, getting ready to set a ball screen and get downhill. And now they have to inbounds it with just under 4 to go. A big break right now with 1:22 to go in the game. 1:19. They're working on it, obviously.
It's a test for you.
Here we go. Now you have 1.9 to work with. It's getting worse for Todd Golden as we talk.
Well, now it got a lot better in the last 2 seconds.
Well, they still have to inbounds it. If you're Kentucky right now, you're fighting your tail off to get a steal, get a deflection, the possible 5-second count. Come with all kinds of pressure and not make this an easy one.
Oh, they played hard all day. They really
No
did.
doubt.
They gave everything they had so far.
7 seconds.
They got themselves too far behind, and that's why they're in this position now. But they never quit.
They roll it to Lee. He's got options with 4 seconds on the shot clock. Diabate on him. Difficult shot and an air ball. Great defense by Diabate. And the Gators got it back with a shot clock violation going off.
Why, Xavier
And
Lee?
they're calling
Why?
a foul here. Todd Golden's looking at Xavier Lee, wondering what in the world were we doing there. Maybe he thought, you know what, we got to get a shot up again. I wouldn't know.
That's the wrong thought. That's a nope.
Yes.
That's a nope. Xavier Lee has not made a lot of mistakes for the last 3 or 4 weeks. That's a learning moment for Xavier Lee.
He makes these free throws, this game is over. He makes these free throws, this game is over.
Genu today, 4 of 7 from the free throw line. Jimmy, why wasn't that a shot clock violation? I mean, I heard the buzzer.
Yeah, I did too.
Threw up an air ball.
Maybe they thought Kentucky had possession for a second.
And
I think
lost it.
that would be the only explanation I can give you.
They need a
lost
three.
possession.
They need a three, man. They need a three.
Oweh elects for a 2 when he gets it up over the
He
rim.
is something else.
And Mark Pope wants a timeout.
He's going to move to number 2 in terms of scoring after 2 years being here. Right now, he's behind Reeves and he's behind Spivey. Spivey 95 points or better, and Oweh is 35 behind.
He's got 25 today in this game. 25 points for Oweh.
He's at 25 right now?
Yeah.
He'll definitely catch Reeves in the next game.
Mark Pope, no timeouts left now, so the full court pressure is going to be hot and heavy. Can't afford for much time to tick off before you come with a foul. You're trying to keep this thing to a 3-possession game. Your back is certainly backed into a corner right now. Thomas Houck has just been an absolute star again on the road. Otega Oweh has fought his backside off with 25 points to give Kentucky a fighting chance. And you look at these 2 games between Kentucky and Florida, Kentucky has never led against the Gators this year.
I'll tell you one thing. I think that Oweh is an all-conference player, first team. I really do. I think that he has played that well this year for Kentucky.
You know, the battle of the boards, which we highlighted, and how it tips towards Florida. The advantage in this game is 2. 40-38 total rebounds. So Kentucky's battled their butts off on the glass.
A lot of good things for Mark Pope's team when you consider Florida's only been out-rebounded twice this year. To Arizona and Texas are the 2 teams that did it. This game is not over still, and Mark Pope knows it, and Todd Golden. They can have no agenda possessions right now. Everybody's got to be on the same page. Defensively, what are we asking you to do if you're Kentucky? Offensively for Florida with a press breaker. Florida has a timeout to use. Mentally in your head, you get to 1,004, call it, and let's regroup.
Let's see who they throw out there on the floor. Lee's a 73% free throw shooter. Klafschar is back on the floor at 90%.
I think when you talk about the fact that Florida gets everybody's best shot now. Everybody. Kentucky does too, obviously, because of their reputation.
Whoa,
Florida right now, everybody is after them big time.
What a high-risk, thin ice pass by Florida, man, with trying to close this game out. And Thomas Houck literally won the foot race to the ball.
It looked from where we were looking, it was like a slow motion pass.
Yeah, it was.
You know, motivation is really part of a team when they enter a game. You can't tell me logically that Florida came here and was as hungry as the Kentucky should have been on their home floor on senior day. There's a big difference when you're highly motivated. Florida got to believe all of a sudden late in the game that they can play with them and they can beat them.
I think they were both. I think they were both really motivated today. I think there was an edge to Mark Pope yesterday in practice with his guys I haven't seen all year long, and Todd Golden made no qualms about it. We're coming here to make Kentucky go to Nashville early, and we want to continue to pursue that #1 seed line in the NCAA tournament.
1 of 2 for Houck, 8-point game, less than a minute to go.
Is it the clock again?
I don't know. I think, yeah, it looks like that's what they're doing again.
This is unbelievable. It's unbelievable.
Last minutes in college basketball traditionally take a long time. This is another added layer of the last few minutes of a college basketball game taking more time. And to your point, it ruins the rhythm for both teams that are looking to have rhythm. Can Colin Chandler find himself open for a three-point shot? He is 0 for 3 today, and he is their best three-point shooter.
They have top-blocked Colin Chandler for 39 minutes. They're not letting him make any free runs at all to the basketball, and I don't expect it to happen now.
He was 1 for 5 against Texas A&M also.
Yeah.
He had 6, I thought, against Vanderbilt.
Jimmy, maybe for people at home, when you say top blocking, what does that mean?
Well, they're getting on top of him as he wants to run to the ball and come off of any type of screen action. They're getting on top of him, actually forcing him to make backdoor cuts and make 2s instead of 3s.
They're going to keep the clock.
Good idea.
Yeah, and not worry about
what
they
see.
Exactly. Aberdeen Marino.
The two-man play right there.
It's a two-possession game.
Yeah, no more timeouts.
Rolling down the lane.
Again,
got to 6.
Lee fell down and slipped. They don't call a travel. Joe Lindsey was right there. They will foul Fland. And Boogie Fland, a 70% free throw shooter, will go to the line.
It's cut to a two-possession game. Florida with 2 timeouts left, and that's just good, simple, quick action, kind of going off script. A 2-man game between a true freshman Marino and Denzel Aberdeen. And to your point, Xavier Lee went down. I think he maybe kept the dribble going, is why the travel wasn't called.
I think you're right.
A heads-up
Free
play.
throw's big here, boy. It's
And
big here.
2 of 4 today, 70% on the season.
We've talked about it a couple of times. Originally committed to Kentucky. He's going to be a Wildcat, and then Coach Cal goes to Arkansas. He follows Cal to Fayetteville, works his way back into Rupp now as a Florida Gator.
Otegoway on senior
What
day.
was his injury down there in Arkansas? He had a major injury.
The wrist, I believe, Coach. I believe it was his wrist.
Boogie Fland calmly knocks in both free throws. Lead 8. Oway got a man up in the air. That's going to be long, but he's going to shoot 3, and they call Houck with a foul.
Right.
Before he goes to the line, we send you to our studio and Kevin Connors.
And Ravi, as you well know, Cameron Boozer and Duke set to take on North Carolina moments away here on ESPN. Boozer, second leading scorer in the ACC behind Stanford's Ibuka Okori. North Carolina and Duke, Ravi, moments away.
All right, thanks very much, KC. Terrific job, by the way, all year for Kevin Connors and the studio crews with their halftime reports and pre- and post games. Really great job.
He does a terrific job.
does.
He really does, Kevin Connors, and all those guys in the studio as well.
Oway kicked out his right foot. They may have got the whistle, though, on the arm.
On the wrist, contact on the wrist. Good call or bad call. You just don't want to give the official a chance to make a call like that if you're Florida. The door is still propped open. Florida with 2 timeouts left. If they get hung up in their press breaker, you know Todd Golden has communicated it to his guys.
Florida led this game by 20. They got a chance to get it down to 5.
I'll tell you one thing. And they got to credit certainly Mark Pope not quitting on that sideline and the play of Oweh. Oweh has been absolutely sensational in this game.
The official scores table has not had a good last 2 minutes. Sounding the horn as Oweh had the ball in his hands for the free throw attempt.
Good job by Otega Oweh.
Yeah.
28 points in the game, and it's a 5-point lead.
Hey, one thing, he's done his part in senior day. He really does.
Ravi,
I love that kid.
It's got to be the second cut. The first cut's probably not going to get you open. The second cut is normally it.
That's Klafschar. Chandler picked it off, and he threw it right back to Boogie Fland. Chandler with the interception, and then a turnover. Oh, boy.
Man, the alertness by Colin Chandler, because he just ate up what I think was a second cut.
It was.
By the guy he was covering. And look at Colin Chandler right here. Just he gets inside like a defensive back, and while he's in the air,
Klafschar stole it.
finds Boogie Fland. Yeah, I thought it was Colin
He
Chandler.
had that ball. Chandler had
He's out of
that
bounds. He was out of bounds
Chandler
and they
did a
missed
good
it.
job defensively.
That should be Kentucky ball. Klafschar is out of bounds before he made that pass.
Watch his foot. Yeah,
right there.
He's out of bounds.
It's clearly on it, and that's just a swing and a miss by this officiating crew at a crucial, critical time. Eyes have to go to the ground as an official in that situation.
Did he have the foot on the line?
On the line. He had it on the line. And Fland keeps making free throws. That's 5 straight free throws for Florida, and that may have salted this thing away. Aberdeen,
That'll be 3.
Yes, it will.
Yeah. Florida doing everything they can to allow Kentucky to stay in this game. A monster, massive missed call by this crew goes in Florida's favor.
It's a little wake-up call for the Gators, too. When they get back and they look at the film, they look at evaluation.
80-75, and it should have been Kentucky basketball.
Rabbi, the floor is your friend defensively if you're Florida. Do not leave the floor. If they throw one in, they throw it in. But, man, Aberdeen now with a chance.
Yeah, needs all 3. He's now 5 of 5 in the game.
And Florida was not good with the last press break.
No.
And you know it's in their head probably a little bit right now. Todd Golden still with 2 timeouts to use.
North Carolina and Duke coming up. Aberdeen, that's a painful miss for Kentucky with less than 20 seconds to go.
Still a 2-possession game, though. They've got a chance that this Kentucky press can get set.
They want to get Klafschar in the game. The free throw goes in. They'll get Klafschar in the game. To Jimmy's point, he was the second cutter.
Yeah.
It was Lee who went by and then Klafschar, and Chandler had it.
I like the football play in this situation when you have to get it in.
They got Lee trapped, and there's going to be a whistle.
I tell you what, I'm not saying on this one, they missed the travel call on press breaker about half the time, and that was awfully close. Lee under pressure when he secured that ball. Maybe took an extra step right here. Boogie Fland can run the baseline. Lee has it, 1, 2, 3. That was awfully close.
I don't think it was a travel, Jimmy.
It was close though, Coach. Yeah, they didn't call it, but
Close doesn't count.
Garrison fouls out of the game, and Moreno's going to come back in, and this is one of the better free throw shooters at this time of year. Given Xavier Lee struggles to start the year, he has been nails.
Marion Lee is a special point guard. He really is. Quick
First free throws today, though.
Cerebral, knows how to play.
he needs both of these.
Nope. That one wasn't close.
What a fight back by Kentucky. Even if they don't pull it off, they are going to carry some momentum and some positive vibes with them to Nashville.
They got to get a rebound too, Jimmy.
Yep.
If it's a miss, it's not. 2-possession game. Oweh will fire. That's going to be short and rebounded, and that should put it away. Xavier Lee will go back the other end. And many of the Kentucky faithful now head for the exits. A game battle by the Wildcats, who trailed by 20 at one point and really had a chance down the stretch. 80-75 when the foot of Klafschar went on the out-of-bounds line, and the officials missed it. Not saying that would have changed the game, but it was a big call.
A big miss. And Mark Pope was spot on. He told you and I this morning, We will play crazy hard in this game. I don't know if it'll be enough, but we will play crazy hard. They have answered that part of the equation. Florida just too much. I'll say it again. The best 3 teams right now as we head into Champ Week in the country. Duke, who's coming up next, Arizona, and these Florida Gators.
And let me just say this here, okay? I first of all want to say thank you guys for having me aboard with you. Lots of luck in the SEC, and I'm looking forward to going to the ACC, doing the championship.
And this shot from Diabate will end it. 84-77 the final, an 11-0 run to start the game, a 13-0 run to end it. They've won 11 in a row and 8 in a row on the road. For Jimmy Dykes, the Hall of Famer, the legend Dick Vitale, Scott Matthews, our producer, and our whole crew, I'm Carl Ravage. Dan Schulman, it's yours.